How do men view you? Greetings, beautiful soul. This is Dahlia with Spiritual Society, bringing you your pick a card reading for this week to dive into all the details about how men perceive you. What's their first impression? How do they feel when they interact with you? And more. If this is your first time here with us, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button, as our mission is to help you unblock your energy using spiritual practices like tarot readings so you can live your most radiantly aligned life. Now take a deep breath. Allow your intuition to call out the card or crystal that resonates the most, whether 1, 2, 3, or 4, and you can select it from the timestamp below. Let's begin. Welcome in card number 1. Thank you for joining me for your reading to find out exactly how men view you. We're going to start off with what is their first impression of you. Ooh, the High Priestess. So before I dive in deeper, the card you were drawn to in the beginning is the Three of Pentacles. And the Three of Pentacles is related to working together to achieve a common goal. So that's the overall sense that I'm getting as we begin your reading, that men perceive you as someone they can work with to accomplish the goals that they have in life. Now let's keep going and see what first impression do men have of you when they meet you. So we have the High Priestess. What else? The Five of Cups. Interesting. The High Priestess is someone who's very intuitive, someone who's very sensitive to their own thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and also the energy of other people. Combined with the Five of Cups, this is about having a sense of grief or loss. So I'm almost getting the sense that men's first impression of you is that you intuitively know what they're feeling. And especially if they're undergoing some sort of grief process or maybe even a sense of a loss of self, you can work together with them to help pick them back up, to help give them words of affirmation and encouragement so that they feel like they're in the right place at the right time. So I'm getting the sense that men really see you as someone who is sensitive to their thoughts, their feelings, and is very uplifting and encouraging. So let's get another card. What is the first impression men have of you when they meet you? What is the first impression? Ooh, the Six of Wands. Beautiful. So this is someone who is viewed as a leader, someone who's viewed as successful and accomplished. So again, I'm getting the sense like men really value and respect your position and your authority. And it's most likely due to your ability to help them as well. So I'm getting like men actually view you as a mentor or someone that they recognize is valuable to help them reach a position in life. And I personally feel that one of the main purposes of relationships is to come together to augment one another and to help each other reach a common goal, whether that's building a life, building a family, building and sharing assets together, creating wealth and a legacy to pass on to future generations. So I'm getting like that's what men actually really see, respect, and value in you, is your ability to help them build the life that they really dream of. And that comes from a place of really valuing your insight, valuing your perspectives, and the help and assistance that you offer through your energy, okay? So let me use another deck to ask this question. What first impression do men have of you when they first meet you? What first impression? Friends, acquaintances, trust, support, and loyalty. Beautiful. So again, I'm really drawn to these words in the bottom here that say that they value your support, they trust you, and they appreciate your loyalty. So beyond the friends word, obviously, to be valued and appreciated and respected means that they consider you someone they could be friends with. But more importantly, they appreciate the support and the loyalty that you provide them, or at least give off this energy of that's who you are. So now we're going to take a look at what do men feel when they actually interact with you. Okay, what do men feel when they interact with you? Wow. The Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is about having a change of thought, a change of perspective. So you are very insightful with this High Priestess, like I suggested. So you have the ability to skew men's perspective towards what you are thinking because it's so intuitive, because it's so, like I said in the beginning, men see you as a mentor figure because you have a lot to share that just seems like you are very knowing, very intuitive, and insightful person. So what do they feel when they interact with you is just a sense of gravitating towards your thoughts and your expressions because they make so much logical sense to them as well. So I'm almost getting the sense like you have this kind of Medusa energy where when men interact with you, they're drawn into your thoughts and your feelings, and they really see like, wow, this woman has a very, like, I just could listen to them all day. I could really appreciate their thoughts and their feelings without questioning them, without needing to, put my position first or ahead of theirs. I'm getting the sense that men would actually, revert to your opinion. Let's say you were in a meeting with a group of men, but rather than speaking over you and making you feel belittled, men would revert to you and say, let's see what she thinks. Let's get her opinion because your opinion is very insightful and very valued. So let's get another card for this question. What do men feel when they interact with you? Ooh, beautiful. So we have the Ace of Cups and the Sun. So this really validates what I've been suggesting because the Ace of Cups is about new beginnings in the heart. They're about being comfortable to open your heart to another person and to give and receive love. So I'm getting the sense like men immediately let down their guard around you and feel a sense like they can relax, like you understand them, and you can offer words of support and affirmation that would encourage them and uplift them. The Sun card means that men really feel optimistic around you. They really feel like, again, you were such a valuable person to be around. And not only that, but men feel uplifted, they feel inspired, they feel rejuvenated around you as well. So I'm getting the sense like you have a very good effect on men, whether you actually know that or not, whether they're able to communicate that with you or not. I get the sense like men open their heart around you, they change their mind, they expect the best. You just give a very encouraging energy. So let me get a different deck. What do men feel when they interact with you? Secret crush, beautiful. It says admirer, attraction, suitor, and butterflies. So again, reminds me of this Ace of Cups. So like I said, whether men tell you this or not, this could be something that they just feel butterflies. They feel a sense of attraction towards you, like they open their heart to you right away without even understanding why. And I'm getting the sense it's like they intuitively know, like you're a very supportive and loyal person who can assist them in being a better man all around. So it's like men are really drawn to you and get the sense like you could be a valuable person to them. All right, beautiful soul, before we continue, if you're resonating with this reading so far and you want to claim it for yourself, comment the gold trophy cup emoji and like this video right now. Again, if you're resonating and you want to claim this message, comment the gold trophy cup and like this video now. So the next question we're going to ask for you is, how do men view your approach to relationships? How do men view your approach to relationships? The Magician. Wow. So again, I'm getting this sense that You have an ability to make men feel like you're very creative, very like you're a winner. Okay, you have this winner mentality, attitude, and vibe that men perceive. And so they get the sense like if they're with you, if they decide to commit to you and be in a relationship with you, then they know something magical is going to come from it. It's going to be something that has unlimited possibility. So the Magician, how do men view your approach to relationships? It's just like, as a man, I feel like I can be anything when I'm with you. That's the sense I'm getting. Like, you just have this ability to create winning companions. You know, I get the sense like men would compete for your affection because they know that you're like a trophy wife, but not in the sense like you don't add value or you're only there for your looks, but trophy wife in the sense like they would be better off with you. They would be able to accomplish their goals. They would be very successful. They would be very cared for and nurtured and feel a sense of place and position. So yes, that's very beautiful. You add unlimited value and possibility to men's lives when they're in relationship with you. Okay, how do men view your approach to relationships? How do men view your approach to relationships? We have the Six of Swords. Interesting. Six of Swords, yes. In combination with that Five of Cups that was right above this card, when men enter in a relationship with you, you help them leave the bad behind. You help them leave negative traits and negative experiences in the past, and you give men an avenue to move forward with possibility, with hope, with encouragement, expecting the best, okay? So how do men view your approach to relationships? It's you leave men better off than you found them, okay? Let me get another card. How do men view your approach to relationships? How do you leave them better off? Yes, Knight of Pentacles, beautiful. So this means that in relationship, they see you as a very patient person, a very hardworking person. So you have the ability to see the long-range vision of what you want for the relationship, and you're willing to work with the man step by step to accomplish the vision that you have set forth for your relationships, for your desires, and what outcome you've set out for yourself personally, and what you desire the man to contribute collectively as well. So how do men view your approach to relationships? Overall, you help them leave the past behind. Anything negative or anything that's no longer serving them, you uplift them, helping them to expect that anything is possible as long as they're willing to work with you to do the due diligence and put in the time, the energy, and the effort required to make the relationship work, as well as all the goals that the two of you have set out forth for yourselves, okay? Okay, let's ask this question again using a different deck. How do men view your approach to relationships? Signs and synchronicities, coincidence, signal, hint, message from the universe. Interesting. So again, this reminds me of the Magician and the High Priestess, and the fact that men see you as someone who is very intuitive, like you have a deep insight into life, and they understand that they could follow you, not necessarily follow you as if you were the leader, which you can be. It's okay to be the female leader in the family. However, I see this more as they will walk side by side with you, but because they see the signs, like when you speak something, it's followed up with some sort of sign that they see, okay, wow, she was right. I definitely need to listen to her. So overall, how do men view you in relationship is just someone that they know is right on, someone that they can trust and expect to help them move forward in the best positive way. All right, so next we're going to see what strengths do men perceive in you, okay? What are your strengths according to the men you meet? Ooh, the Emperor. Wow. This is really interesting because I was just saying like men would follow you. And so you don't necessarily have to feel like an alpha or feel like the leader ahead of a man. You could, and that's perfectly acceptable, but that's actually how men see you, as the leader, as someone who is very ambitious, very goal oriented, but also just conscious and aware of what steps need to be taken to reach a goal and to outline the plan in a way that is just like, yes, I understand that. It makes so much sense. I've seen the signs to know that you're accurate, you're correct, and I'm confident and trust in your lead. So I'm going to follow you, because the Emperor is everything I've just suggested, like divine masculine energy that is ambitious, that knows how to put plans and structures into place in order to accomplish things. So overall, that's definitely how men perceive you, as a leader, as a feminine leader. Okay. Let's go ahead and ask this question again. What strengths do men see in you? What strengths do men see in you? The Hierophant, okay, again, related to these cards, the High Priestess, the Magician, signs and synchronicities. They see you as someone who's connected, tapped in. This is also mentorship energy, but more of like a spiritual mentorship. So you have this vibe and this energy of possibility, of spirituality, of intuitive listening, listening to your gut instinct. That is a gift from beyond. Not everybody can listen to their gut or listen to their intuition and follow it successfully, and you do. And the men around you are really very much excited by that, also intrigued by that, and they see the possibility that you have to offer. So men see you as tapped in, tuned in to your spirituality and your intuition in a way that's relatable, because you have the ability to share and express it in a way that makes sense and is very logical to them. Okay. So let me get another card for this question. How do men, what strengths do men perceive in you? Wow. We have the Knight of Wands and the Strength card. So the Knight of Wands is, again, this ambitious energy, but also very passionate, excited. Okay, so they perceive your strengths related to your passion, your inspiration, your ability to take charge and move forward successfully and confidently. The Strength card means you're able to overcome adversity with courage. So it reminds me of that Five of Cups. Like, you give men more courage because you help them see possibility rather than the negative sides of experiences. And that's based on the work that you've done and the courage that you've attained over your life to be resilient and to overcome the challenges that you've experienced with grace. So overall, the strengths that men see in you are your actual strength, your courage, your tenacity, your resilience, your passion, your excitement, your inspiration, your connectedness, your spirituality, your intuition, as well as your leadership qualities and your ability to accomplish and achieve goals and inspire others to do so as well. All right, so let me use a different deck. What strengths do men see in you? Fated meeting, meant to be, destiny, predetermined, and encounter. Beautiful. So it reminds me again of all this spiritual energy, how you give men like this ability to tap into spirit in a way that they may not have done previously to meeting you. So giving them a sense of destiny, that's a strength that you provide as well. Just an overall energy of spirituality is a strength that men see in you. All right, beautiful soul. Let's take a look at what vulnerabilities that men perceive in you. So areas that may be a little bit more challenging for you. Okay, what vulnerabilities do men perceive in you? We have the Five of Wands in reverse. Interesting. This is a card about collaboration. And because it's in reverse, I'm getting the sense like a weakness or a vulnerability that men perceive in you is the lack of desire to listen to other people's opinions or ideas if you know that if they're subpar. Because you have an intuitive sense, you have a gift and a knack for knowing what's right and what's going to work. And so you may refuse to consider other ideas if you sense like they're not going to work out in the way that yours will. So ultimately, a way to mitigate this may be just to be more patient when it comes to listening to other people or to allowing other people to contribute their ideas in a way where it feels like a team effort versus them following your lead. Okay? All right, let's get another card for this question. What vulnerabilities or challenges, weaknesses do men perceive in you? Okay, what vulnerabilities? We have the Seven of Wands. Interesting. So it's possible that men perceive you as guarded. This definitely reminds me of this Five of Wands reverse, where I said you may lack the ability to accept other people's ideas if you don't feel like they're right on. And the Seven of Wands is like protecting your ideas, protecting your space, protecting your energy, and not allowing other people in. So I am getting another sense like they find you closed off or guarded or walled up, and you don't have the tendency to allow other people to penetrate your energy that easily, okay? All right, so let's ask this again. What challenges, weaknesses, or vulnerabilities do men perceive in you? We have the Page of Cups. This is an interesting energy. This is about being sensitive, being a dreamer, wearing your heart on your sleeve. So I am getting a sense like you may not share your emotions or share your sensitivity or your dreams very often. Let me get a clarifying card. What is this Page of Cups related to a vulnerability? What is this Page of Cups as a vulnerability? The Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, I'm getting a sense that you are a very ambitious and goal-oriented woman. And perhaps men may perceive you at times to have more masculine traits. Doesn't mean you look like a man or necessarily act like a man, but like perhaps you're not as sensitive as men expect women to be. And because you are ambitious and goal-oriented, they might perceive that as a vulnerability, in the sense like you could wear your heart on your sleeve more often. You could be more sensitive or open to the feelings and emotions of other people. So that is really interesting. Let me use another deck to answer this question again. What vulnerability do men perceive in you? We have Mask, hidden motive, concealed, disguise, and lying. So I'm getting the sense, like, again, with that Page of Cups, you may not be as forward with your thoughts, feelings, and emotions as they expect women to be. The Seven of Wands, you may appear to be very guarded more than you expect. And so with this mask, it's almost like men don't know what they're getting with you, or you're not as forward with your thoughts or your feelings than they expect you to be. And so they almost get this sense like you're hiding something, you're not bringing forth your full thoughts, your full intentions or feelings. They don't know what to expect with you. because you're kind of closed off in a way, is what I'm getting. Okay, so next we're going to take a look at the question, what changes could enhance how men see you? Okay, what possible changes may enhance how men see you? What changes could enhance how men perceive you? We have the devil energy. What is this devil card about? What changes could perceive, or what changes could enhance how men see you? What changes could enhance how men see you? We have the Page of Pentacles with the devil. I'm almost getting a sense like you could play more instead of being so focused on your ambitions, your goals, your dreams, on what you're trying to accomplish in relationship or personally. I'm getting the sense like you could let down your guard, you could relax, you could allow more pleasure into your life, okay? Allowing more pleasure, being a little bit more playful, and less focused on assets, wealth, building goals and dreams for yourself. Just adding a little bit more play in your life. Okay, what changes, if any, could enhance how men see you? What changes could enhance how men see you? The Chariot. Interesting. What is this Chariot related to? What changes could change? Okay, we have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands is about leaving your comfort zone. And the Chariot, I'm almost getting like you could travel more often, experience more adventure. Because this Chariot energy, I'm almost getting the sense it's like this is you, you know, someone who's able to overcome darkness with grace, someone who is determined to be victorious. But then in combination with this Two of Wands, almost getting like a one-sided energy and a need to just seek adventure and play and pleasure more often. Okay, seek adventure, pleasure, and play more often. Let me get one final card. What changes could enhance how men see you? What changes could enhance how men see you? The Three of Swords. Some interesting energy. Let me get one more card. What is this Three of Swords? What changes could enhance how men see you? The Two of Swords. Wow. Two of Swords and Three of Swords. I'm getting the sense like you could be more vulnerable. Yes. Yeah. With the Two of Swords, it's an opposite energy to this High Priestess, because the High Priestess is someone who uses their intuition to guide them through life. And the Two of Swords is someone who needs to do that. The Three of Swords, it's like you are perceived as someone who's very strong, someone who's almost on top of it all, and it's almost like someone who is unable to be hurt because they have a guard or a wall up. Remember, this is how you might be perceived. This doesn't necessarily have to be what you feel within yourself, but changes that you possibly could make that may enhance how men see you is just being a little bit more vulnerable, not being as guarded, allowing your sensitivities to be exposed, not to the degree like you would allow yourself to get hurt, but just to show like you have a softer side, you have a sensitive side. And then also allow yourself to be lost, like that with that Two of Wands as well. Like I'm getting the sense like you could just allow more spontaneity and adventure versus always knowing exactly where to go and exactly how to get there. That's a beautiful quality, but also is beautiful would be inviting adventure, inviting not knowing, just simply being open to the unexpected. Okay, so that's the final vibe I'm getting here on how any changes you may be able to make is just inviting more pleasure, more play, being more spontaneous and adventurous, not always knowing the way to go, or even if you do, allowing the man to take the lead and guide you. And even if you get lost along the way, just chalking it up to a sense of adventure as well. Okay. All right, let's use another deck to answer this question one more time. What changes could enhance how men see you? What changes could enhance how men see you? So I'm going to go with this card on top because I'm most drawn to it. And it says, again, between the lines, hidden meaning, vague, speculate, and implicit. And that really reminds me of what I was saying here with the Two of Wands and the Two of Swords, especially like being open to being lost, being open to the unexpected, to the unknown, and to the vague without needing to be right or needing to know the answer all the time. I'm getting the sense like men would rather feel like they know it all sometimes, or feel like you trust their decisions, their thoughts, their intentions. And that could be this family card as well, like leaning into more of the ideas that other people in your life, particularly men, would like to take and just going along with it for the fun of it. Okay, I feel like that could in a way open how men perceive you or enhance how men perceive you. Okay. So we're going to use the Law of Attraction Oracle deck to answer one final question for you. What do you need to know overall on improving your relationship with men? Okay. What do you need to know overall on how to improve your relationship with men? Attempting to control others attracts more to be controlled. This card says, it is easy to understand how you would come to the conclusion that your path to feeling good is through influencing or controlling the behavior of others. But as you attempt to control them through influence or coercion, you discover that not only can you not contain them, but your attention to them brings more like them into your experience. You simply cannot get to where you want to be by attempting to control or eliminate the unwanted. So this is very interesting, and it really does remind me of what I was saying, especially over here with some vulnerabilities you may have with the Five of Wands in reverse and the Seven of Wands, is that because you are so intuitive, you do have this sense of knowing the right way, and therefore you can lead others successfully. But if you don't allow yourself to be open to the ideas of others, even if you feel like they're wrong, then people may have a tendency or desire to not want to follow your lead or not work with you because you're like a know-it-all. And so again, don't take that personally, not suggesting that you are that, but this energy is like, because you have a very keen knowing, you may not listen to others as often as you could, and so therefore men may feel like you control them. And so this card just has some final advice and encouragement on how to improve relationships with men is to be more open, be more sensitive to the thoughts and feelings of the men in your life. Be more open to play and adventure and to getting lost, because allowing someone to lead, may give them this sense like they would want to follow you in the future. But, you have to be open to them being wrong, okay, and not always wanting to control the outcome. because like it says here, attempting to control everything will just attract more to need to be controlled. So if you want to be able to trust another's intuition, to trust another person's lead, you know, then this is an area that you could possibly work on, okay? All right, my beautiful soul, I do hope this message served you, gave you some peace and clarity regarding how men view you. If you resonate with this message and you want to claim it for yourself, comment the gold trophy cup emoji and like this video now. And also remember, there's a link available in the description box if you want to book a personal reading for yourself at any time. Until the next reading I do for you, I'm sending you so much peace and love. Bye for now. Welcome in card number 2. Thank you for joining me for your reading to find out exactly how men view you. We're first starting off with what is their first impression of you. Thank you so much for joining me for your reading. So the card that you were drawn to in the beginning is the Six of Swords. And the affirmation on the bottom says, I know that peaceful times will come. The Six of Swords is an energy of transitioning on from periods of hardship to periods of opportunity and joy. So that's an overall theme and energy to sit with about how men perceive you, is being an energy of transition from hardship to joy. So let's take a look at these cards that came out in answering the question, what first impression do men have of you? So with the Eight of Wands, the Two of Pentacles, and the King of Wands, I'm getting this energy that they would choose you versus another, because there's an energy of magnetism and attraction. So I'm almost getting a sense like men don't necessarily want to leave their partner for you, but I'm getting this energy of like, if a man was in a relationship, they would say to themselves, wow, if I was single, I would be with her. Or if something happened in my relationship, I would go talk to her. Because you have a draw about you that makes men want to pursue you, because you make them feel like passionate. The King of Wands is a very passionate and magnetic and attractive energy. It's a masculine energy that is very inspirational and energetic himself. And so that's what you make them feel. You make them feel passionate and energetic. With the Eight of Wands, it's about moving forward quickly, like things happening with a lot of speed. And I'm getting this sense, it's like, wow, I would be with her if I could. It's an immediate draw and attraction towards you. And with this Two of Pentacles, it's like juggling, you know, perhaps two different people. So that's where I'm getting this energy of like, if I could be with her, I would. Or if someone is single and they're juggling two different opportunities, like perhaps dating two different people or talking to two different people, they would rather choose you than the other person, is the energy that I'm getting overall. So I'm going to use another deck to answer this question again. What first impression do men have of you? Reconciliation, interesting. Reunion, second chance, back together, and I miss you. So this immediately gives me this energy of, you know, like if I could be with that person, I would. So this isn't necessarily like an energy of getting back together, but you know, juggling two different people and wanting to be with one person in particular, the same way you would want to be with someone you used to be with again. So again, I'm just getting this energy like you have a draw and a magnetism that makes men want to choose you. All right, beautiful soul. So now we're going to ask the question, what do men feel when they interact with you? Okay, what do men feel when they interact with you? Five of Pentacles. Interesting. So this card is about insecurity and also feeling like you're lacking something. There's something that you don't have that you want. And again, I'm reminded of like juggling. Like, I feel like when men see you, they feel like they're missing out if they can't have you for a particular reason. And in my mind, it's like if they're with somebody else and they meet you, they would rather be with you. And so it's getting the sense of like, oh, I'm missing out on having that. Okay. So let me get another card. How do men feel? Wow, Justice and the Page of Pentacles. This Justice card. Okay, so for some of you, I am getting the sense that you may have dealt with like third-party situations where you may be the other woman. Okay, so it doesn't have to resonate with all of you, but for a portion of you who are watching this reading, I'm definitely getting the sense like you have been with, or it might be an energy that you have a tendency to attract, is a man that is with someone else, but when they meet you, they're immediately drawn to you and they want to have you because they don't want to miss out on you, like having your cake and eating it too kind of thing. So what do men feel when they interact with you? For those of you who are resonating with that, the Justice card it's an energy of like being responsible for your own actions and being careful, because every action you take has a karmic consequence, whether positive or negative. And so I'm getting this sense, it's like men feel like they need to be careful or responsible for the decisions that they make if they decide to choose you versus another person that they may be in a relationship with or talking to. Okay, so yes, for those of you who don't necessarily resonate with being in a third-party situation, I'm just getting the sense like men do feel like a sense of needing to be cautious because you have like this magnetism and this draw. So it's like, okay, I'm so drawn into this. I don't necessarily know why I feel like I'm losing out on this. So let me just use precaution and make sure I'm making the right decision to pursue this person. And the Page of Pentacles, as what men feel when they interact with you, is like wanting to actually build something with you. The Page of Pentacles is like new beginnings in your physical life and wanting to plant the seed of certain experiences. So men definitely feel like they want to start a life with you, or they want to start a relationship or a connection. They want to build and create some sort of, tangible connection with you. And so because it's an immediate draw of them feeling like, oh, I'm going to miss out if I don't pursue this person, there's also an energy of wanting to step back and make sure that that's the right decision. Okay, so now let's use a different deck and see, what do men feel when they interact with you? Wow, fated meeting. What did I say? Yes, like there's this immediate draw and energy towards you. It says meant to be, destiny, predetermined, and encounter. So because they feel like, wow, this is destiny, this woman is like my dream, I don't want to miss out on having that, that's this energy where they want to build something with you immediately because they feel like drawn to you, feel destined to be with you. All right, beautiful soul. If you are resonating with this reading so far and you want to claim it for yourself, comment a fire emoji and like this video now. Again, if you're resonating and you want to claim this message, comment the fire emoji and like this video now. So the next question we're going to ask for you is, how do men view your approach to relationships? How do men view your approach to relationships? We have the Seven of Pentacles. And the Seven of Pentacles is slow, steady patience and gratitude for what it takes to build something over time. So again, I'm getting this energy of being drawn to you because of what men believe that they can have with you. Beautiful experience that continues to build and grow over time. So this isn't like a quick burn, but something that the passion can continue to grow and build and augment over time. All right, how do men view your approach to relationships? How do men view your approach to relationships? Wow, the Six of Swords. So the card that you were drawn to is the Six of Swords, and it came up again in your reading here. So it's definitely a major theme in how men view you and relationships with you. The Six of Swords is, again, about, transitioning from a period of hardship or darkness or challenge onto a brighter and better opportunity filled with more joy, more success. So interestingly enough, I'm getting the sense of, especially those of you who are really drawn to the third party aspect, and I'm leaning more and more towards that idea that this reading is for you if you perhaps are the other woman in a third party situation. So perhaps the person you're with is married or already seeing another person. This reading may be for those of you in that situation, and if you're not, you may want to choose another deck. So with the Six of Swords, again, as far as how men view your approach to relationships, they feel like being with you versus being with the other person that they're with would bring more joy, more harmony, more pleasure, more passion. It would lead them from a place where they feel dissatisfied by their relationship to a place where they actually feel optimistic and hopeful, like this is the right person. So again, this fated meeting, and for some of you actually with this reconciliation card, it could be someone from your past, like perhaps a high school sweetheart or just someone you knew from an earlier period in your life, and you met later and now they're already, married, or they're with someone else, or they started a family, or whatever the situation may be. But then they meet you and they're like, wow, this always was the one. That's this energy that I'm getting, is like this person was the one for me and I missed out on this opportunity to be with them. And now I feel like I'm at a loss because I've already created this relationship, but I know I want to be with this person. So I know that's a very specific scenario for a group reading, but that's really the energy that I'm getting here. So overall, you just definitely give men like, this energy like, I would be much happier, much more fulfilled in relationships if I was with this person versus that other person. Okay. So let's ask this question again. How do men view your approach to relationships? How do men view your approach to relationships? We have the Knight of Pentacles. So the Knight of Pentacles, similar to the Seven, is about patience and progress over a steady period of time. So I'm getting this energy like men find you very patient, as well as like someone they can build with steadily over time. So the relationship won't fizzle out at the honeymoon phase, but the passion and the enjoyment is something that continues to grow and progress over time. So that's the type of relationship that men perceive with you. So let me get a different deck. How do men view your approach to relationships? We have heartbreak. It says hurt, betrayal, grief, and disappointment. Let me get one more card to clarify. How do men view your approach to relationships? Okay, so we have some clarifying cards here. We have family and mask. All right. So again, I am definitely feeling this reading is more for third-party situations where you perhaps are the other woman in a connection with someone who already has a family or already has a relationship, and in order to be with you has to wear a mask, has to lie or conceal their true motives and intentions. And because of this, knows that they're in a difficult situation, like the Two of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles. It's like no matter what you do, there's going to be hurt, there's going to be grief, there's going to be loss and disappointment. So yes, overall, I'm getting this sense like that's the energy in this particular relationship and connection here. All right, beautiful. So now we're going to take a look at what strengths do men see in you? Okay, what strengths do men see in you? We have the Hierophant. The Hierophant is like a spirituality, reminds me of the fated meeting. Like you feel like destiny. You feel like the person that they're meant to be with. Again, it's a mysterious magnetic attraction that gives them the sense of predetermination. Let's get another card. What strengths do men see in you? Wow, I was gonna flip that one over by accident, but I saw it, and so I'm gonna take it because it definitely resonates. So the Nine of Cups and the Lover's card, as far as what strengths do men see in you. So again, there's this energy of meant to be, predestination, predetermination. And the Nine of Cups is this energy like men see you as giving them a sense of fulfillment, sense of joy, a sense of like, this is my wish come true. This is my dream girl, my dream woman. And so the Lovers is like, you are a very enticing woman. You are very, like, you have this soulmate potential. And so I'm getting the sense like any man would see you as a soulmate because there's some sort of spiritual draw and attraction towards you that makes you a relationship, like a person that someone would want to marry, or you know how they say that woman is marriage quality or that man is marriage quality. That's what I'm getting from you. Is like people really feel like this lover quality in you because they feel like you give them this joy, this feeling like, yes, this is it. This is everything I've ever wanted. Okay, so let me ask this question with a different deck. What strengths do men see in you? Spiritual awakening. Wow. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is dead on. So it says enlightenment, epiphany, life lessons, and rebirth. Okay, with the Hierophant card right next to it. What strengths do men see in you? Like this spiritual magnetism that makes them feel a sense of destiny. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what vulnerabilities do men perceive in you. So these might be areas of challenge or weakness when it comes to dealing with men. Okay. What vulnerabilities do men perceive in you? We have the Emperor. Interesting. Let me get a clarifying card. What is this Emperor about? The Nine of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. What vulnerabilities do men perceive in you? So I'm not so much getting a vulnerability within you, but more of a weakness that you draw out in the men in your life. And I feel like you make them dream about the possibilities. And for that, they have to sacrifice the things that they've already built up or worked for in order to pursue something that's more intangible, more spiritual, more ethereal, like giving up a family or a relationship that they've already built, perhaps even bought a home with somebody, and then they meet you or they reconnect with you and they feel like, wow, I'm willing to give up everything I've built for this person. So that is like a vulnerability within a particular man that you're with now, or if this is a pattern, then the men that you attract, you bring out this vulnerability within them that makes them willing to destroy or leave behind everything they've already created because they feel a draw towards building something with you and creating something with you. So they're totally willing to start all over from scratch, which could be perceived as a weakness within them. Okay. So let me use a different deck to answer this question. What vulnerabilities do men perceive in you or within themselves because they meet you? Legal matters. Oh my gosh, this reading is so clear. It's crazy. So it says justice, divorce, balance, and judgment. So I know the justice card was over here somewhere, and I was talking about how men have to really decide, like a particular scenario where you're with someone who's probably already married, already created a home, like bought a home, built a family, everything. In order to be with you, that decision would carry a lot of weight because now legal matters are involved, divorce and justice, right? So this is pretty intense how clear this reading is, but I'm guessing someone out there needed a very specific reading today. Okay, so definitely a vulnerability or weakness within a particular man in your life that in order to dream about being with you, they'd have to sacrifice everything they've already built and now enter into legality with the ramifications of their decision. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and answer the question, what changes could enhance how men see you? Okay, what possible changes may enhance how men see you? We have the Queen of Wands, the Ten of Wands, and the Seven of Cups. Interesting. The Queen of Wands, I'm getting the sense like this is already you, very magnetic, very personable, attractive, like you have an immediate draw towards you. So I would say just continue to be that person. Just continue to be yourself. Continue to be a queen, someone who's confident, full of self-worth, full of passion and inspiration. Continue to be that. But then I also have these two cards, the Ten of Wands with the Seven of Cups, and I'm getting the sense like for those of you who've really resonated with this third-party situation type of relationship where a man has to choose you over everything else they've already built, the man is saying have more compassion for how much responsibility is on their shoulders. Because the Ten of Wands is like just being so burdened down by the weight of everything that's on your plate. And then the Seven of Cups is like being very cautious about what you have to choose, because even though something might look like something that's beautiful and enticing and would be the best decision, once you choose it, it could lead to something that is not favorable. And it reminds me of the saying, all that glitters is not gold. So that's what this card is about. It's like being very having choices and options, but needing to make sure, remember that the Justice card, being precautious to make sure that you're making the right decision, because the decision carries so much weight. It's not just like a snap of the fingers type of change. It's something that would involve so much, right? Especially with divorce and dividing assets and splitting families, like that's a heavy decision. So I'm getting a sense, like if you're, again, really resonating with this very specific reading, then the man in your life is saying, please be patient with me, because the decision that I have to make carries so much weight, and I'm burdened down by this responsibility. But they do admire who you are exactly as you are. So I'm just getting the sense it's just be very considerate for the heaviness of the responsibility that they have on their shoulders right now. Okay, so I'm going to get a different deck to answer this question. What changes could enhance how men see you? We have friends. It says acquaintance, trust, support, and loyalty. So again, I'm just really drawn to this support and this loyalty, as well as the trust. I'm not as much drawn to the friends aspect of this card, but the fact that they're just asking for you to trust them, to support them, and be loyal to them while they go through this heavy transition. Okay? All right, beautiful soul. So we're going to get one final card just to see how you could help improve relationships with men in your life. Okay. So this card says, I can stop attracting don't wants by attention to do wants. It says, you cannot rid the world of things that bother you. You have got to rid your vibration of things that bother you. And when you rid your vibration of things that bother you, no things that bother you can come. But you cannot really rid anything from your vibration, because there is no exclusion in this attraction-based universe. The only way to stop attracting something that you don't want is by giving your attention to something that you do want, but you have to take small steps in it. So this reminds me of this Queen of Wands card, is just continue being your best self. This card is just simply about not focusing on the negatives of your situation or your relationships with men, but focusing on the best possible qualities and attributes. Because the more you focus on what you don't like about a situation, the more you will continue to amplify it. So for instance, in this particular situation, if you're a third party interaction and you're the other woman, I could imagine how you would want to know perhaps when this other person is going to leave their spouse, or whatever the particular situation is. You may want to have certainties. And then this energy of like being considerate for the weight of this decision, I'm getting the sense, instead of focusing on what you're lacking, like for instance, like a full-on commitment if you're the other person, or waiting for the judgment or the decision of divorce to actually move forward and happen so that you couldn't feel like, okay, this person has fully committed to me. Instead of focusing on the don't wants, focus on the things that are going right. So again, the Queen of Wands, focus on the passion, the magnetism, the energy and feeling of destiny that the two of you share. The more you continue to amplify those energies and qualities of your connection, the more it'll move forward in a direction that you truly desire. However, the more you focus on the qualities, again, that are going wrong or that you perceive aren't what you want, and go further, by perpetuating those same worries and wants onto this other person, the more what you don't want will continue. But again, the more you just continue to focus on the passion, the enjoyment, the sense of dreaminess and wish come true that the two of you share, the more quickly the relationship will progress to the degree that you want it to. Okay? All right, beautiful soul. I do hope this reading served you, gave you some peace and clarity regarding your situation. If you resonated and you want to claim it yourself, go ahead and comment the fire emoji. Also remember, there is a link available in the description box below. If you desire a personal reading, you can book that at any time. And until the next time I get to read for you, I'm sending you so much peace and love. Bye for now. Welcome in card number 3. Thank you for joining me for your reading to find out, how do men view you? We're going to start off with seeing what is the first impression that men have of you. All right, the card that you were drawn to is the Queen of Swords. So let's dive in. The Queen of Swords overall gives me the sense that men view you as a very intellectual and intelligent woman. Also someone who has a keen and decisive judgment. Not necessarily overly emotional, but just someone who is very wise, discerning, someone who can be trusted is what I'm getting a sense of. So here are the cards that answer the question, what first impression do men have of you? You have the Magician, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Three of Pentacles. So I'm getting the sense that men see you as someone who knows what she wants, what she's worth, and what she's working towards. Like, you're very clear and decisive. I'm getting the sense that when you meet men, right away you tell them exactly what you're looking for. And in this sense, you're looking to build a life and a family, wealth and a legacy with someone. You're not interested in platonic, temporary situationships. You're interested in men who are ready to build a life with you. So you give off this energy of someone who's very clear about what she wants and unwilling to tolerate anything less. So that's a very beautiful energy. It's very clear. Yes, very clear. So let me go ahead and ask this question one more time, okay, with this tarot deck, because that was just very straightforward. I want to get a little bit more energy. All right, what first impression do men have of you? We have the Two of Cups, Death and Rebirth. What is this Death and Rebirth card about? What is this Death and Rebirth card related to? What is the Death and Rebirth card related to? Okay, interesting. Well, the Two of Cups right away is... Okay, so the first impression men have of you is someone who's ready for a long-term committed soulmate relationship. Not someone who is, again, just like looking for a fling. Men don't perceive you as someone who would be interested in a fling. You are interested in a committed, devoted relationship. So again, that is what men perceive. That's the first impression that they get from you. With the Death and Rebirth card, as well as the Five of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles, I get the sense that you require men to step up in their ability to contribute meaningfully and economically to your life. So I'm getting the sense, like, again, because you're not looking for flings or short-term relationships, you're looking for someone who wants to build a life together with you. The Ten of Pentacles is really about security, economical security, as well as emotional security. The Three of Pentacles is about working together collaboratively to reach a common goal. So because you have the Five of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, again, men see you as someone, it's like, okay, I got to be on my best game. I have to be ready to be a provider and a leader. I can't be lazy. I can't lack ambition. You're not interested in being with someone who's lazy and lacks ambition. You want someone who's ready to be a provider, a husband, a father, and that takes someone who's patient and dedicated and willing to work to provide for the family, to build something meaningful together over a period of time. So yes, men are like, okay, I gotta go big or go home. I gotta step up if I'm gonna be with her. And if I'm not ready to step up, then she's not the right person for me to pursue. Okay, let's ask this question using a different deck. What first impression do men have of you? Home, wow. Comfort, safety, belonging, and shelter. Again, this energy of creating a home, creating a family, essentially building a home together, building a life together. So men's first impression of you is like, okay, this is a woman who feels like home. This is a woman who wants to build a life together, and someone that I would have to be very serious about in order to pursue a relationship with, okay? Okay, so let's take a look at the question, what do men feel when they interact with you? Okay, what do men feel when they interact with you? We have the Five of Wands. Interesting. I'm almost getting the sense it's like they feel forced to excel or pushed to succeed, because this is an energy of like collaboration but also competition. So you could think of it as like a sports energy where people are competing to be their best selves against one another. And so that's this energy that men feel with you, is like competing to be their best self, to be with you. It's like, again, they can't be lazy, they can't lack ambition, they have to be someone who's serious in life, a go-getter, someone who's ready to build, not play games, someone who's ready to take life seriously. So men feel like, wow, I have to be on my best like game. I have to really, drive. You give them this sense of like, oh, it's go time. It's not a time to rest, okay? All right, what do men feel when they interact with you? We have the Empress. Again, reminds me of the Home card, because this Empress is a very creative and fertile and loving, valuable energy, someone that, brings life and good energy and upliftment to those around her. So men really value your nurturing energy, this feeling of wanting to be a wife and a mother, this feeling of wanting to create a home and a future with someone, okay? How do men feel when they interact with you? How do men feel when they interact with you? We have Justice. Interesting. What is this Justice card related to? The Wheel of Fortune. So this reminds me of the Queen of Swords. On the bottom, this affirmation says, I protect what matters to me. And that reminds me of this Justice card. It's like you give this energy again of like knowing exactly who you are and what you want, and being unwilling to accept or tolerate anything less. And so this Justice card is, again, the men who may be attracted to you recognize that they have to take clear responsibility. They have to be just as discerning about who they are and what they want as you do. Okay, and the Wheel of Fortune in relationship to this card, This is an energy of like fate and destiny, synchronicities, changes happening that we don't necessarily have control over. So this reminds me of the Five of Wands. It's like the men who are attracted to you feel like life is giving them a sign that it's time to grow up, it's time to move forward, it's time to really figure out who they are and what they want for themselves, because this person, this woman, in this instance you, is ready for their best self. Okay, so you give men this feeling like, okay, life is telling me it's time to step up. You know, it's like if a mother has like a 30-year-old son still living with her, and her son is not, you know, doing what she would expect him to do, like not getting married, not leaving the home, then it's almost this energy of like, you know, some mothers would be like, oh, I wish he meets someone, you know, a lovely lady who's going to give him that determination that he needs to like really get it together. You know, that's what I'm getting this energy is like how men would feel around you. Is that similar energy of like, okay, it's not time to be immature anymore. It's really time to get it together and be the man that I can be. Okay, let's ask this question using a different deck. What do men feel when they interact with you? What do men feel when they interact with you? Proposal. Wow. Love offer, engagement, agreement, wish come true. So again, reminds me of the home card. This is like, again, this energy, like she knows exactly what she wants. She wants to be with someone who wants to be married, wants to be a husband, a father, a provider, a leader, and unwilling to accept anything less than that. So again, it's like this energy, like if I'm going to be with that person, I need to be ready to be exactly what she's wanting, because again, you're just that clear and decisive about what you want. Okay, so that's very, very clear. All right, beautiful soul, if you are resonating with this message so far and you want to claim it for yourself, comment an engagement ring down below and like this video now. Again, if you're resonating so far and you want to claim this message, comment an engagement ring and like this video now. So now, beautiful soul, we're going to take a look at the question, how do men view your approach to relationships? Okay, how do men view your approach to relationships? We have the Seven of Cups. Wow. Okay, so I just got this thought that you are very selective about your choices. You are not, again, this energy of not willing to be with just anybody. You don't accept any relationship that comes your way. If a man is interested in you and wants to date you, you're going to be very selective about your process. And again, you bring forth this information about what you're looking for right away, so that if they're not interested, you're not going to play games with them. You're not going to tolerate them playing games with you. So men very much see you as someone who takes their time and has a lot of consideration and discernment when it comes to the choice that they make in relationships, because you're not going to choose something that looks appealing, but then, you know, over a period of time, you realize like, wow, this is not what I was going for. So that's why you take so much time in sifting through the potential suitors to make sure like someone is just as clear in what they're bringing as you are, so that you mitigate as many surprises in the dating process as possible. Okay, how do men view your approach to relationships? The Six of Pentacles, amazing energy. So this is a very clear reading. The Six of Pentacles is about reciprocity, giving and receiving. So again, this is an energy of knowing exactly what you want and being with someone who is going to value you enough to give at least as much as you give them or more. Okay? Yes. Wow. Very clear. Let me get another card. How do men view your approach to relationships? The Page of Cups. I'm almost getting the sense that some men would see you as being too dreamy or too, in the clouds when it comes to your pursuit of relationship. The Queen of Swords on the Rider-Waite version of the tarot is a woman that's looking above the clouds, that's seated on her throne. So with this Page of Cups, I'm getting like an energy that some men view you as like high and mighty, like because you have such high standards is what I'm getting. Some men might see you as dreamy in the sense like you have too high of standards that it's wishful thinking that you could actually get that type of partner. But those are the men that aren't for you, because the men that are for you are going to give just as much as you give them. There's going to be an energy of reciprocity. So I'm getting the sense like men just see you as very choosy, very particular when it comes to the type of relationship you're willing to be in. You have very high standards. And so some men may perceive that as being like a wishful thinking, like you're not going to get it, but you certainly will. I can guarantee you that, because having that clear focus and intention and those high standards are exactly what you need when it comes to committing and devoting your life to another person. Okay. So let me use another deck. How do men view your approach to relationships? We have ghosted, disappear, silence, ignored, and rejected. Wow. Definitely reminds me of what I was saying about being very choosy and having very high standards, and making sure that in the early stages of the relationship or the just meeting someone, you tell them exactly what you're looking for. And if they don't measure up or have those qualities, you're quick to drop them. You're quick to just say, nope, I'm not interested. I'm going to continue looking. So that's where I'm getting this energy that some men may see you as like having standards that are so high that it's impossible to meet them. And so perhaps they do feel rejected by you because of that. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at what strengths men perceive in you. Okay, what strengths do men perceive in you? We have the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands means you have a lot of energy, very charismatic, very passionate and inspirational as well. You're a person that is exuberant, and your energy is very magnetic and attractive. Okay. All right. What strengths do men see in you? We have the Nine of Swords. What is this Nine of Swords related to? What is this Nine of Swords related to? Oh, wow, the Six of Swords. Okay, interesting. So what strengths do men see in you? I would say your ability to get through hard times gracefully. Your ability to not spend too much time awake over a decision that you know you have no control over. So I'm getting the sense like, rather, you're not a person that wallows in frustration. You're a solution-oriented person who would rather get through a problem logically with keen judgment and discernment and less emotions. So again, I'm getting this energy like you're more logical than you are emotional. So rather than, wallow in pain, misery, or frustration, you would rather just find the solution to a problem and move forward. Okay. All right, what strengths do men see in you? Wow, the Three of Wands. So this definitely reminds me of what I just said about someone who's solution-oriented and ready to move forward. The Three of Wands is about being ready and willing to put in the steps necessary to progress and move forward. So definitely a progress-oriented person, someone who knows who she is again and what she can accomplish and this card is also about being like willing to wait for the next step, because you've put all the pieces in the puzzle of what you desire to manifest, but now you're kind of waiting for life to deliver that to you. So I'm getting the sense that a strength that men see in you is like you're willing to wait for what you know you deserve, because you've put a lot of time and effort into getting that reality for yourself, and you know it's going to come true. It's only a matter of time. So this energy of like persisting towards the goal and the outcome that you want, while also expecting that it's going to happen and being patient for its arrival. Okay, so that's a strength that men see in you. Let's get another deck. What strengths do men perceive in you? Divine timing. Wow. Okay, so it says perfect timing and waiting. So wow, I mean, that's exactly what I was just saying with the Three of Wands, like being ready and willing to wait for life, for the divine to bring you exactly what you desire, because you know it's going to happen at the right time. All right, so let's see what are some vulnerabilities or weaknesses that men may perceive in you, or that you may bring out in them. Okay, what vulnerabilities do men perceive? We have the Moon and the Fool. Again, I'm getting the sense like even though this is a strength of yours, being willing and ready to wait for life to bring you exactly what you want and being comfortable in the unknown space, the Moon card, it's like men see that as a weakness. And I'm getting it's the men who feel rejected by you. Men who understand you and meet your standards don't see this as a weakness, but the men that feel rejected by you do. And the Moon is like being too much in the unknown. And it reminds me of the Page of Cups, where some men see you as too dreamy, or being too wishful because your standards are so high. So that's really interesting. And the Fool is like trusting life so much that you're just willing to take a leap of faith. And so I'm almost getting like that your ability to trust life, to have faith in the unknown, because you expect to receive what you desire, even though to some it may seem like your standards are high. It's like they distrust your faithfulness in this unknown. It's very interesting. I feel like these are very insecure men who feel rejected by you, to be quite honest, because they distrust like how much faith you have in the unknown, which is interesting. Let me get another card. What vulnerabilities do men perceive in you? We have the Knight of Swords. Interesting. I'm just getting the sense like they would rather you be more impulsive. Again, it's the insecure men, not the men that you necessarily would want to be with. But they would rather you just like take life by the horns and be, I guess, more like them, just sowing your wild oats or pursuing pleasure for the sake of it, or just having fun dating around because that's what they do. So I'm getting the sense like your lack of impulsiveness is perceived as a weakness by the men that feel rejected by you, because they would like to pursue a fling or, you know, a relationship with you, even though they don't meet all your standards. All right, so let's see with a different deck. What vulnerabilities do men perceive in you? Hookup. Oh my gosh. Wow. This is so crazy. What did I say? So it says one night stand, intimacy, casual relationship, and fling. Oh my gosh. So what did I say? So it's only the men who are exactly what you don't want who would perceive this like faith and trust and willing and desire to wait for the type of person who's gonna give you a committed relationship, you know, work together to build a life and a family together. The men who only want to have a one night stand or a casual fling with you are the one who perceive that as a weakness or a challenge to probably their immaturity. Okay, so I find this very, very interesting. And I would just have to say it's not a weakness at all to know exactly what you want and being unwilling to settle for anything less. That is a definite strength. So I commend you on that for sure. All right, beautiful soul. So we're going to ask, what changes, if any, could enhance how men see you? Okay. What changes could enhance how men see you? We have the Four of Swords. I'm getting the sense like some men would love it if you would wait for them to introspect within themselves, to give them time to consider like what they want for themselves or for their lives. That's really interesting. The Four of Swords is like rest, waiting, and healing. So I'm getting the sense like, yeah, some men want you to wait for them to be ready for you versus you ghosting them or giving up on them so easily. I'm getting the sense like they want you to see their potential and that they could be what you want and measure up to your standards if you give them a little bit more time. Okay, but instead I'm getting the sense like when you meet people right away, if they're not what you want, you reject them or you just don't give them the time of day. And I wouldn't say that's necessarily a bad quality. I'm just reading the energy that some men would love for you to give them time to mature into what you desire from them. Okay? Okay. What changes could enhance how men view you? Wow, we have the Ten of Swords. Some interesting energy. I feel like some men feel betrayed by you, rejecting them or leaving them behind. It's possible for some of you that you had a relationship with someone who was willing to give you what you wanted in the long run, but perhaps they just weren't ready at that exact moment to propose or to start to build, you know, a type of like family and marriage and life together. Yes. So that's only specific for some of you, but there is a man that felt betrayed because you didn't give him enough time to heal and move forward and to be the type of man that you desire. Okay, let me get another card. What changes could possibly enhance how men view you? Wow. Whew, okay, yeah. There are some men in your energy field that do feel grief by your rejection. Okay. I'm getting the sense that possibly you could have more compassion There's nothing wrong with having high standards, but perhaps your delivery or lack of patience or understanding has emotionally impacted some men in your life. Okay? So let me get one final card for this question. What changes could enhance how men see you? Wedding, interesting. We have marriage forever, the one, and union. It's possible that some particular man, this one who may feel betrayed and grieving the loss of a connection with you because they weren't ready at that time to give you everything you wanted, was willing to marry you, did view you and feel like you were the one for them, and so felt very disappointed and betrayed at the ending of the connection. Let me try and get one final card for this question. This is a very specific energy for some of you. What changes could enhance how men view you? We have fear. It says afraid, uneasy, suspicion, and scared. Yeah, again, I'm getting this sense of hurt and betrayal and loss in a particular man in your life. And so again, I'm just getting the sense like just to be compassionate, caring, and considerate with your delivery of your standards and how that may emotionally affect men who feel rejected. Okay? All right, beautiful soul. Let's get one final card to see how possibly you could help influence your relationships with men in a positive way. Okay. How could you influence your relationships in a positive way? It says, I came as an extension of source energy. You came as physical extensions of source energy, understanding that you would explore contrast, causing expansion not only for you, but for all that is. You knew that you could find your way back to the resources of your source by feeling your way, and by understanding that the relationship between you and you is not one of separateness, but of alignment and resonance. When you master the art of allowing, your consistent alignment with the source within you, every other relationship will be beneficial and pleasurable. Very interesting. So this is why you have high standards. This energy of how connected you feel, the clarity that you have to your intentions, is because you have this understanding of the unknown and this understanding of your connection to source and all that is, that gives you this ability to know that you are worthy of exactly what you desire and you expect nothing but the best for yourself. So again, I'm not feeling anything wrong with that. And the only individuals who would feel that as a threat are the people who are not aware of this fact, that aren't aware, like you can dream big and expect the best for yourself and be patient for divine timing and know that you are available to receive nothing less than the best in what you expect for yourself because you have that relationship to source. So again, this is saying when you master the art of allowing, your consistent alignment with the source within you, every other relationship will be beneficial and pleasurable. So overall, I'm just getting this sense, like continue to have your high standards, continue to know exactly what you want and deserve, and you will receive it. Your relationship will be desirable and pleasurable because you committed to those high standards and you stayed in alignment with expecting nothing less than the best for yourself. And in the right time and way, it's coming into your life with ease and with grace. All right, beautiful soul, I do hope this reading served you, gave you some peace and clarity. If you resonate and you want to claim this reading, comment the engagement ring emoji down below. Again, if you resonate and you want to claim this reading, comment the engagement ring emoji. Also, remember there's a link available in the description box below for you to book a personal reading at any time. And until the next time I get to read for you, I'm sending you so much peace and love. Bye for now. Welcome in card number 4. Thank you for joining me for your reading to find out exactly how men view you. Take a deep breath in. Open yourself up to receive the messages that resonate with you. We're going to take a look at the question, what first impression do men have of you? Let me get another card. All right. So let's take a look. The first question is, what first impression do men have of you? So the card that you were drawn to in the beginning is the Death card. And it says, I let go and embrace new beginnings. So sit with that as an overall theme of how men view you, how they perceive you in relationships, and so on. So the Death card is about embracing loss and change and new beginnings, being open to metamorphosis and an expansion of self, which at times requires great sacrifice and great change. Now we have the Two of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Page of Swords. What first impression do men have of you? The Two of Cups is a soulmate card. It's a willingness to devote oneself to another with trust, with intimacy, with truth, honesty. It's a beautiful energy that overall represents making deep and meaningful connections with another who you perceive as your soulmate. Now we have the Ten of Pentacles in reverse, which indicates I'm getting a sense like a loss of a family, a loss of a marriage, and just an upheaval of the security that you maybe once built in relationship. So I'm getting the sense this reading is for you if you've gone through a major upheaval such as divorce, where you split families, you split assets, and all of the heaviness and change that comes along with that kind of decision, whether it was your decision or your spouse's decision. So ultimately, that's what I'm getting here, that this reading is for you if you've gone through that sort of significant change and loss in relationship. Now we have the Page of Swords, which is about being curious for something new, learning something new about yourself, your life, what you can achieve, who you are. So again, I'm getting that this reading is for those of you who have gone through the ending of a major relationship that cost a lot of yourself in building this relationship and also in making the transition from that relationship as well. And now you're on the other side of that experience where you're open to discovering more about who you are and at this stage in your life. And so I'm getting the sense that the men who meet you and their first impression of you is an understanding of the depth that you've gone through, particularly with other men who have gone through a similar experience. So you may be seeking men who have also been divorced or have also gone through that sort of transition, because there's just a greater level of the sacrifice and change that takes place when you go through that sort of experience. So whether that's true or not, the men who first meet you, again, understand and are aware of that level and depth of change that you've gone through, whether this was a divorce or just the separation of a long-term relationship that you took the time to build life with. Now, the men who meet you, their first impression of you is like, not only did you go through that, but you came on the other side more willing to find your soulmate, more willing to find yourself in which is a requirement, which is the first thing that one must do in order to find someone who completes them, is to understand what completes us first and foremost. So that is the first impression that you're giving off to the men in your life at this point, is just a woman in self-discovery mode who's willing to find herself, who's willing to find the one, and perhaps rebuild that security and abundance in a partner, a significant other that we can create a life ongoing with. Okay. So that's the overall message I'm getting off started with for you. Let me get a different deck to answer this question again. Okay, what first impression do men have of you? We have date. It says courting, date, anniversary, and meetup. So again, this reminds me of the Two of Cups and the first impression that men have that you're ready to start over, looking for love again. So that's definitely in alignment with the date card. Being on the other side of divorce or separation from a long-term partnership, having went through a period of self-discovery and being ready to open yourself up to date and find the one. All right, so now let's take a look at the question, what do men actually feel when they interact with you? Okay, what do men feel when they interact with you? The Eight of Wands, they feel a sense of urgency, speed, momentum. So with this date card, it's possible that men ask you out rather quickly or know right away that they are interested in pursuing you. Let me get another card. What do men feel when they interact with you? What do men feel when they interact with you? We have the Emperor. The Emperor means you make them feel like a divine masculine, like a king, like a provider, like a leader. You make them feel like they want to create a life with you, or to, I'm getting like a man setting out plans for the type of life that he wants to create and build with you. Because again, there's this sense like you are soulmate material. You are somebody worth creating a legacy with, or wanting to be a leader and a provider for. Okay, let me see this again. What do men feel when they interact with you? Ooh, beautiful. Wow. Okay, so this makes a lot of sense here with the Knight of Cups, definitely in relationship to the date card. Men feel like an immediate pull towards courting you, to expressing their intentions and their feelings for you. The Five of Pentacles is an interesting energy about feeling a sense of loss or insecurity. So I need to clarify what this Five of Pentacles is, but the King of Swords is about being very logical, very clear, very discerning, but also kind of unemotional. So I'm getting the sense that men feel like a sense of knowingness and clarity and a sense of straightforwardness. So men are probably usually pretty forward with you when they have a desire to ask you out, or to court you, or to whatever plans they want to make for life with you. They're probably pretty direct in their speech about it. So overall, I'm getting the sense that you make men feel like an immediate interest in pursuing you and also making plans for the future with you as well. So I need to clarify this Five of Pentacles. What is this Five of Pentacles related to? How men feel when they interact with you? What is this insecurity that they feel related to? The Ace of Cups, interesting. Okay, so the Ace of Cups is about being ready to open your heart. So I'm getting the sense like you make men nervous. This makes me consider that men feel for some reason an insecurity in opening their heart. I'm wondering if there's a possibility that they are afraid to hurt you, so that they know that they have to come sincere. because you are someone who's ready to open your heart fully. And also you have a knowingness of yourself because of this Page of Swords, like a curiosity for self-discovery, that you're not necessarily interested in playing games or playing the field, but you have like a self-awareness about you that perhaps brings out an insecurity within men, that they must be ready to come correct, to come with their full integrity, with their heart wide open, ready to give and receive love with equal measure. Okay, so let's use another deck to answer this question again. What do men feel when they interact with you? What do men feel when they interact with you? Magnetic attraction, alluring, lust, irresistible, and flirting. Interesting. So this kind of resonates with what I was just saying. Like, you have this self-awareness about what you want, which means that men have to open their heart fully in order to proposition you, in order to court you. You know what you want, and so there's not as much lust involved in that sort of interaction. There's more like of a mental stimulation that's required before you get to that place where it becomes, you know, where you allow those feelings to take the relationship to a physical level as well. However, there is a strong magnetic attraction, like I suggested with the Eight of Wands. Like, there's an immediate pull and draw towards you. With the Knight of Cups, it's like an immediate desire to want to take things further with you. So there's also this hesitancy with the Five of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups about making sure they're actually ready to pursue you in the right way. Okay. All right, beautiful soul. So if you are resonating with this message so far and you want to claim it for yourself, comment a magnet emoji down below and like this video. Again, if you're resonating so far and you want to claim this message, comment a magnet emoji. So now we're going to take a look at how do men view you in relationships, okay? All right, let's see, how do men view you when they're in relationship with you? Five of Cups, interesting. There's something related to grief and loss here. Perhaps this is due to the divorce or the long-term separation that you've experienced. But there's some acknowledgement of the pain that you've gone through. And I'm not getting the sense like you're still wallowing in pain, but you're aware of your pain and what it taught you to the degree that it's made you who you are, into this place of wanting to continue to know more about yourself. So I'm getting the sense that the men who are in relationship with you acknowledge the depth of grief that you've gone through in your previous relationship and the loss of it, and how much it defined your life and your experience to this day for the better. Okay, let me take a look at this again. How do men view you when in relationship with you? How do men view you when in relationship with you? The Moon, wow. Wow, this is interesting. This has to do a lot with your subconscious mind, where your inner feelings are stored and even your traumas. This is more of a hidden, watery aspect. So there's something unknown and mysterious about you. And it could be related to the depth of grief that you've gone through in love. Yes, let me clarify. What is this unknown energy that men perceive in you? This mystery, this subconscious femininity. What is this? Wow, you have a lot of 5 energy. There's definitely a lot of grief, loss, conflict associated with your love life. The 5 of Swords. Let me get one more card to clarify. What is this Moon and this 5 of Swords, this 5 of Cups, this grief, this loss, this conflict? What are men perceiving in relationship with you? I saw the 6 of Cups flash, and that is related to our past. What is this energy? We have the 3 of Wands. I'm getting the sense that like, men still perceive you as holding on a lot to the pain of your past. Whether you resonate with that or not, because in the beginning I was getting the sense like even though, yes, okay, now it's coming full circle because you also got this Death card, which says I let go and embrace new beginnings. But the Death card is a heavy energy because when you go through that level of metamorphosis and change in your life, you're kind of intimidating and misunderstood because your darkness and your light become one aspect. Like it's not, a lot of people try to repress and hide their shadow, but it makes their life less honest, less meaningful, have less integrity because they're repressing and hiding the aspects of them that they don't like. But when you go through darkness and you heal and you learn and you grow, it becomes a balanced part of you. It becomes integral to who you are. And you may even talk about those experiences maybe more often than other people are comfortable with. But it's not from a place of being a victim or still being hurt, but through identification with a part of our life that really made us who we are, that is defining for us. And so I'm getting the sense like perhaps some of the men you have experienced connections with, particularly maybe just early on in the dating experience with them, are intimidated by your depth because of the integration of your shadow. And that's most likely why there's an insecurity related to them opening their heart up all the way because they don't fully understand you. Okay. So, yes, that's ultimately what I'm getting here. And the 3 of Wands just makes me feel like they would rather feel for them like you've moved on or you're moving on from that, but they don't understand how you already have moved on from that. It's just so a part of your experience that they just have to understand or accept it rather than just assuming that you're dwelling on it just because it's so a part of your experience. Okay, I hope that makes sense, but that's very foggy energy with all of this kind of heavy energy here. So let me use a different deck to answer this question again. How do men view you when in relationship with you? How do men view you when in relationship with you? We have fated meeting, meant to be, destiny, predetermined encounter. Very interesting energy here. Okay, well, that's beautiful. So that may be related to the just unknown, mysterious draw that men have and perceive in relationship with you is like, it's also a sense of destiny with you as well. Okay, let me get just one more card. How do men view you when in relationship to you? We have breakup and mask. Interesting. So we have walking away, ending, separation, and it's over, and hidden motive, conceal, disguise, and lying. So this is the energy that I was speaking on, that men perceive you as still holding on to something related to your previous breakup. Okay? This is the energy that I was feeling with that. But the fated meeting is also related to the magnetic attraction and the strong draw that men feel towards you and courting you. And also knowing this is part of the reason why they have to be cautious with you, because they don't want to amplify what they perceive as the negative experience of your life through the grief and the loss of a marriage or a long-term partner. Okay? It's possible also that you might have had a partner or a spouse that died, and that's possibly related to why they sense that you're still carrying so much grief. Okay, and that would make a lot of sense, actually. That makes more sense than divorce or separation, because that grief does stay with you forever. And I could imagine how someone would kind of tiptoe around that level of loss as well. So that may resonate for some of you who have actually, lost a spouse or partner to death, that the new men in your life are very conscientious of that loss and are afraid almost of letting you get hurt. Okay? So let's move forward and take a look at what strengths do men perceive in you. Okay, what strengths do men perceive in you? We have the Temperance card, which makes a lot of sense with everything I've been saying. The Temperance is about healing, balance. Oh, wow. And again, it's about that light and dark. Like, again, what I said, when you've experienced serious grief and pain and loss in your life, but yet you learn, grow, and heal from it, you are able to integrate your darkness and your light to a degree that makes you a more authentic human being. And the Temperance card, that's everything that's about. It's like you're able to walk a very peaceful and balanced path on life because you understand your shadow and you just understand the pain in a way that it doesn't hurt you as much. You're just walking amongst it, Wow, that's amazing. Okay, what strengths do men see in you? We have the Page of Cups and the Four of Pentacles. So the Four of Pentacles is about holding on to people, places, or things. And I'm getting the sense like this is you holding on to yourself, holding on to the beauty and the joy in the midst of the pain and the challenges. Like you have not lost yourself, you've only become more of yourself. And then we have the Page of Cups, which is being sensitive, dreamy, just being someone who is still imaginative and playful. So I'm getting the sense that men see as a strength in you that you haven't lost your childlike wonder, you haven't lost your spark and your passion for life, even amidst so much darkness you may have gone through. Okay. All right, let's use a different deck to answer this question. What strengths do men perceive in you? We have okay, let's ask this question again. What strengths do men perceive in you? Wow. We have new love, and immediately I see the word childlike. So I just mentioned with the Page of Cups that men perceive that you haven't lost your childlike wonder. It also says moving on and new beginning. So this is what it says here in the death card. I let go and embrace new beginning. So although you may have experienced the death of a partner or divorce or separation of someone that you truly cared for, you are in a position of being open to new love and ready to move on and have a new beginning in your love life. So men definitely perceive that as a strength within you. So let's take a look at now what vulnerabilities men perceive in you, okay? The Nine of Pentacles. This energy makes me feel like the work that you've continued to devote and dedicate yourself towards in becoming this version of you who you are now is perceived as a weakness, because it's almost like they feel that it's masking your grief. You know how people throw themselves into work when they're very stressed or emotional, or don't want to address their feelings? That's something that people say, like when you're running away from your feelings or you're running away from yourself, you'll throw yourself into work. So again, this doesn't necessarily have to be a weakness within you or something like that you resonate within yourself, but just an external energy that might be what others perceive in you. So only take what resonates with you. And if this makes sense because you've heard this expressed to you before through other people, then you know that it might, carry a little bit of weight as far as what other people perceive. So let me take a look at this again. What vulnerabilities or weaknesses do men perceive in you? Wow. Okay, so the Eight of Pentacles is exactly what I was just saying. The Eight of Pentacles is about continuously working on yourself over a long period of time, throwing yourself into the activities that make you feel like you're getting better and better. So that's perceived as a weakness only because I'm getting the sense like some men may see that as a mask for your pain. And then we have the Four of Wands. This is celebration of life, celebration of love, celebration of family and community. So perhaps they don't see you as playful, because you've done so much self-discovery and so much self-work. Like I feel like men feel like you could be more in the moment and enjoy life more versus being so dedicated to bettering yourself or working on yourself or discovering yourself, whatever resonates the most with you. So that's what I'm picking up on here. All right, let me see with a different deck. Okay, we have signs and synchronicities. Let me see again. What vulnerabilities do men perceive in you? I'm getting with this, it's live in the moment, because you can only see signs if you're present, like very present. Okay, so I think being present more often might be a challenge for you, according to this energy. What vulnerabilities do men perceive in you? Romantic feelings, falling in love, affection, happiness, and emotions. So this definitely reminds me of the Four of Wands, because that can indicate marriage and, just celebrating love with community overall. So there's something related to your ability to relax, let down your hair, celebrate love, have fun, that, is perceived as a challenge or a weakness within you. Okay. All right, so now let's go ahead and ask the question, what changes could possibly enhance how men see you? Okay, what changes could possibly enhance how men see you? We have the Judgment. So this energy is what I've been feeling all along about you. Like you are in a place of just operating from a higher level of your soul's, intent for your life. This is a spiritual awakening card. So perhaps just continue to work on yourself, develop yourself. But I'm also getting the sense to be able to communicate your spiritual awakening, or like the fact that you know who you are, and any misunderstandings of the amount of grief that you've experienced is just someone not understanding like the full depth of our soul experience. You know, I'm getting like hero's journey. Not a lot of people understand like that kind of solitary journey that some take through a dark night of the soul to find themselves and bring themselves back. So perhaps being with others that understand that type of experience, because you shouldn't have to communicate that necessarily, but I said it early on, like you may only want to be with other men that have gone through the same level of experience like that you have, whether it's divorce or some sort of deep loss or grief and love. You may only want to be with people who have gone through that because they understand, and you don't have to explain yourself and why you are the way you are today. I'm even getting the sense like you could be a grief counselor or something like that as well. All right, but I'm just getting the sense like to continue leaning into this journey that you're on and the depth of wisdom that you've gleaned from the darkness that you've experienced. Continue leaning into and embracing that, and the right men will meet you at that level. We have the Queen of Cups. This is just about continuing to embrace your emotional side. Be willing to be emotional, be willing to be compassionate and share the depth of your feelings, and just continue to be sensitive to your thoughts, your feelings, and those of others as well. Okay, let me get another card. What changes, if any, could enhance how men see you? The Six of Wands. Stand out, be proud, be a leader. Again, I am getting the sense you could help a lot of people through darkness. So if that resonates with you, then seek opportunities to do that, which is going to just continue to give you more self-confidence, but also it's going to put you in a position to be seen, to be heard, to be felt, to be validated. And I do feel that's going to put you in environments with the type of men who understand you, exactly who you are and exactly what you've been through, and value you for that as well. Okay? Let me get one final card with this deck here. What changes could enhance how men possibly see you? Wow, we have heartbreak, hurt, betrayal, grief, and disappointment. So again, I said something about grief counselor. I do feel like sharing the depth of your heart and your heartbreak in avenues that give you this opportunity to help others is going to enhance how you're seen. Let me get one final card. What changes could possibly enhance how men see you? Relationship. We have commitment, partner, boyfriend, and girlfriend. I honestly feel this means just to be open to taking a relationship to a committed level. There might be a fear of marriage or a fear of fully committing, even though I don't necessarily feel like that, because you are open to new beginnings in love, but perhaps there is a part of your heart that is afraid to get so attached again because of the depth of loss and grief that you've gone through. And that could be the challenge area that men perceive in you, like there's still something that might be closed or guarded because of the heartbreak that you've gone through. So again, just be open to another committed relationship that is with the right person who could really understand, you know, who you are and everything you've gone through. Okay, and I'm going to get one final card here just to see what you need to know to improve relationships with men overall. What do you need to know to improve relationships with men overall? There we go. It says, by default, I could have attracted unwanted relationships, but immediately I'm drawn to doves, which represent like spiritual messengers from the afterlife. And there's a dark and a white dove here. So I'm getting the spirit from the beyond, as well as the darkness and the light that you've experienced. So this card says, many of the relationships or experiences you have attracted, you would not have deliberately attracted if you had been doing it on purpose. But much of your attraction is not done by deliberate intent, but rather by default. It is important to understand that you get what you think about, whether you want it or not, and chronic thoughts about unwanted things invite or ask for matching experiences. The law of attraction makes it so. So essentially, this is just saying like any unwanted experiences in relationships that you have had in the past or currently are not something that you deliberately attracted, but you attracted through a particular focus on unwanted experiences. So many people do this when, for instance, they say, I don't want to get hurt again. I don't want to get hurt again. I don't want to get hurt again. That's a focus on hurt. And the law of attraction only is going to bring you experiences that you're continuously focused on. So it's not recognizing the fact that you don't want to be hurt. It's recognizing that you keep focusing on being hurt. And so again, you're going to attract experiences that validate what you're focused the most upon. But however, if you focus on the type of relationship that you do want, so for instance, if you resonated when I said that putting yourself into environments with other people who have gone through the same kind of darkness and healing experience that you've gone through would put you into an environment where you would be more understood, where you don't have to explain yourself, where you don't have to feel like people aren't validating your experience and what you've gone through, then it may open you up to something that you can focus on, like, I feel understood, I feel validated, I feel heard and seen. And that may open you up to a level of commitment that part of you might be closed off to because you've experienced a lot of hurt. So overall, this is just saying that to improve your energetic frequency when it comes to relationships and the type of people you attract, do your best to focus on what you desire in a partner and not so much what you are afraid is going to happen again, or the aspect of relationships that you don't want. Just make sure you're focused on the things that mean the most and have the most value to you, and that's what will come into your life in time. All right, beautiful soul, I do hope that this message served you, gave you some peace and clarity regarding your situation. If you resonate and you want to claim this message for yourself, comment the magnet emoji down below. And also remember, there's a link available in the description box if you want to book a personal reading for yourself at any time. And until the next time I get to read for you, I'm sending you so much peace and love. Bye for now.